Thanks, Mark. They tell me don't come between the second to last speaker and lunch, but that's what I've been dealt, so I'm actually going to go through this very, very quickly. Available for questions afterwards during lunchtime. So good afternoon and thank you for the opportunity to present Alliance and our exploration and mining activities here in South Australia. The title of my presentation today is Still Waters Run Deep. And that really sums up our business, because as a privately funded company, no one sees the hard work that our teams put into mineral exploration and project development. Cautionary statement, of course. So, Alliance Resources was formerly an ASX-listed company, which I've been involved as a director since 2003, which was privatised in 2022. The company now forms part of our larger group, the Gandel Metals Group. The team has worked closely with key stakeholders over many years to ensure that our activities have a material benefit for the local communities in which we operate. Alliance is currently exploring on the Northern Eyre Peninsula here in South Australia and around Kalgoorlie in Western Australia, where we're looking for economic concentrations of gold, nickel, graphite and lithium. Oh, we also have a bit of iron ore. Our flagship project is the Wiltshire project that's located 45 kilometres north of Kimba and will be the topic of this presentation. The Wiltshire project is located in the southern Gawler Craton near the northern edge of the Cleve Domain, where the Hiltaba granite suites intrude the Archean Sleaford complex granites and Paleoproterozoic dark peak group metasediments just south of the Gawler Range volcanics. In this area, we have a very complex multi-commodity district that includes nickel fertile ultramafic rocks, organic metasediments metamorphosed to graphite, a high temperature magnesium skarn and porphyry system, and epithermal deposits. Historically, gold, iron and silver lead zinc are the dominant commodities for which this area is known that spatially support a regional porphyry skarn mineral exploration model, with well-known deposits such as Weednana for gold and magnetite, Manini Dam for silver lead zinc, and the Paris deposit for silver. This slide shows the location of the Wiltshire project, 500 kilometres by road from Adelaide, and less than 200 kilometres from ports at Whyalla, Port Augusta and Lucky Bay. In this area, we have taken a multi-commodity approach to exploration, where we are currently focused on nickel sulphide, graphite, iron and gold. Since late 2016, Alliance has been actively exploring and developing the Weednana gold-iron deposit, which has culminated in the application for a mining lease in February this year. We've been progressing through the approvals process and recently completed our public consultation process, which I must say has been very strongly supported by the local community in Kimba. At Weednana, we intend to construct a 200,000 tonne per annum carbon-in-leach gold extraction facility, with ore to be supplied initially via open pit and later underground. The current gold resource totals 180,000 ounces, averaging a bit over 3 grams a tonne. And this will be supplemented by iron ore that occurs adjacent to the gold. There's over 1 million tonnes of DSO material and a further 2.8 million tonnes that can be upgraded by dry magnetic separation. We'll also be producing a high-grade magnetite as a byproduct of the gold, processing it through spirals and/or wet magnets at the back of the gold plant. So all up, we'll be producing gold doré and a variety of iron products. In anticipation of mining, we have an 80-man or 80-person accommodation village in Kimber that will be refurbished next year, and we've already started opportunistically purchasing mining infrastructure, including a ball mill that we bought from Canada and the dry magnetic separators. At this stage, we see a 5-year mine life after 12 months of construction, but we'll obviously be looking to expand our gold and iron mineral resources with further exploration. In that respect, our gold and iron mineral exploration strategy takes a regional approach that's focused on the magnetite skarn system, where we know we've had strong hydrothermal fluid flow. We're using an integrated geophysical data set including magnetics, gravity and IP over a 70 square kilometre area to define both skarn and porphyry targets for drill testing. We've completed a quarter of our planned IP work and already have 19 chargeable anomalies, which we know from our work at Weednana may be associated with gold. In addition to our gold and iron development plans, we've also been pioneering nickel sulphide exploration in the southern Gawler Craton. A few years ago, we recognised an 8-kilometre long high magnetic anomaly referred now to as the Bonza prospect, being associated with the serpentised ultramafic rocks. This was initially supported by the analysis of historical drill pulps that turned broad zones of nickel anomalism listed on the slide, and significantly the best result of 3 metres grading 1.1% nickel. The nickel anomalism was supported by high chrome and MgO values and low silica, indicative of ultramafic rocks, and thin section analysis confirmed that the primary nickel sulphide pentlandite hosted in metamorphosed periodic and peroxenized commodities. Encouraged by these results, we completed moving loop EM over the central portion of the ultramafic in 2022, generated 5 high priority conductor targets proximal to the interpreted ultramafic footwall or basal contact, which we drill tested between May and August this year. We're still waiting for the final assay results from this drill program, but what we've seen in the drill core is a 40 to 90 metre thick, strongly deformed and altered ultramafic to mafic sequence hosted by dark peak group metasediments with consistent grading indicating footwall basal contact to the west. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, the conductor plates that we were targeting are associated with graphite. However, one of the holes did intersect a 3-metre section of blebby nickel sulphide, which is likely violarite, hosted in ultramafic saprolite, which is highly encouraging. And you can see that on the slide. Once we receive the final assay results, we'll complete a detailed petrographic and geochemical review of the host rocks to refine the mineral exploration model before planning our next stage of nickel exploration, which may include collaborating with a joint venture partner. The final commodity that I want to talk about is graphite. The Eyre Peninsula is the premier graphite district in Australia, extending from Port Lincoln up the coast to Sevier and then inland to the Gawler Range volcanics. There are hundreds of millions of tonnes of graphite, and our Wiltshire project has its fair share. At this stage, we have 3 high priority graphite targets at various stages of development that we believe to have the potential to host plus 200 million tonnes of ore to support a substantial mining operation. These targets are the Yeltana, Bonza and Thurlga prospects. Graphite is an industrial mineral with increasing demand for use in lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. The market has traditionally paid a premium for coarser grain flake. However, lithium-ion batteries do not require coarser flake, and the prices of all flake sizes have been improving. The key to developing an economic graphite deposit is an underlying robust metallurgical process, which is unique for each deposit, to efficiently extract the graphite from the gangue to a marketable grade in excess of 92 to 95% total graphitic carbon. As such, our exploration approach is to identify large graphite target areas using moving loop EM surveys and preliminary drilling before commencing scoping study metallurgical test work on diamond core. Our most advanced target is the Yeltana prospect, where EM surveying and drilling suggest an exploration target of between 24 to 59 million tonnes, grading between 5.5 and 10.2 total graphitic carbon. We've already collected over 150 kilograms of diamond core from this prospect, and our initial metallurgical test work looks very encouraging, with upgrades over a few stages. I should say we started our metallurgical work in February, so we're actually reasonably advanced. Our nickel exploration target at Bonza also presents a priority graphite target with 24 kilometres strike length of conductive stratigraphy identified by our Heli EM and 21 bedrock graphite associated conductors modelled over a 4.5 kilometre strike length using moving loop EM. All 5 diamond holes that we drilled at Bonza for nickel also intersected broad zones of graphite listed on this slide, and we'll be chasing it, and that's deep, but we'll be chasing it to surface. Once all the assay results are received, we'll be estimating an exploration target using the drilling and EM data to guide further activities, which will include testing the Yeltana metallurgical process on the Bonza diamond drill core, as the deposits are only 3 kilometres apart and appear to have similar metallurgical properties. Our third graphite target is the Thurlga prospect, a bit further away. The graphite at this prospect is visible across a broad area in aerial imagery. I actually asked my chief geologist, how do you know there's graphite there? He said, because you can see it on Google Earth. So its potential is also supported by historic exploration, where mapping and drilling have identified widespread graphite, and an aerial EM survey that has identified a 7 kilometre by 2 kilometre area of conductive stratigraphy. All of this suggests potential for a major graphite deposit, which we'll confirm using moving loop and then drilling. So as you can see, coming back to the title of my presentation, still waters do run deep. Alliance is a very active exploration and mining company that's fortunate to be working in such a mineral-rich district as the Southern Gawler. We're developing an iron ore and gold producing hub centred around the Weednana deposit that we will organically grow through regional and systematic exploration. Who knows whether our nickel sulphide journey will take us. We've identified unique paleoproterozoic ultramafic rocks that are fertile for nickel sulphide, which we need to place in a regional context. And then we have 3 large graphite targets, large areas with substantial drilling intersections, and have advanced scoping study metallurgical test work that indicates a robust and efficient metallurgical flow sheet for a marketable graphite product. We've structured our business such that the graphite and nickel rights of the Wiltshire project are held in separate entities, and it's our intention to bring our graphite project to market at the right time, or to potentially list or vend into an existing graphite company. So, thank you very much.